Welcome back to another episode of Sentry Snack of the Week. In today's episode, we're going to join Adam as he talks a little bit about the common N+1 problem.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Adam, and by day, I'm one of the engineering managers here at Sentry, working on our performance tools. By night, I like to pretend to be a developer. Today, I'm going to quickly walk you through a performance issue I discovered while building a way to manage your personal expenses. Let's go. In one part of my application, I needed to pull a bunch of expense reports, loop through it, and show each expense to the user. Since Django is my framework of choice, I knew that I could use its ORM to pull the data, send it down to a template, and then loop through it and use the template tag to display the data. After releasing the code, I went to Sentry to see how things are going, and I noticed a performance issue. Now, this is a project that I work on a lot, so I went straight to the code to see if I could find any obvious performance issues. I looked at my code for the normal issues, debug statements, random sleeps left in for performance tutorials, gremlins. I couldn't find anything. Luckily, I could go back into Sentry, check out that specific transaction, and see what was going on. I was a little surprised by what I saw because I was only fetching the data once, and I saw a bunch of different database calls. But I guess I wasn't that surprised because I had just encountered the N+1 problem. That's when I had forgotten two things. The first was pagination, and the second was using select related. It's always a good idea when you're looping through a large data set to paginate your results. This is good both because it creates a digestible amount of information for your user, and it also limits the max number of database calls you have if you have an N+1 problem. The second and more useful solution is to use Django's select related. Select related will basically follow foreign key relationships and pull all of your data into the first query, instead of doing one query to list all of the data and then separate queries to pull all of the individual items. After updating my code, I deployed it and went back to Sentry to see how things were going. I went to that transaction and noticed that the duration changed from 3.5 seconds back down to 300 milliseconds. So that's a win in my books. N+1 problems are practically unavoidable. If you're using Django, you will eventually encounter one of these. So the things to think about are to paginate your queries to make sure that you're limiting the max number of queries that can run, as well as to use things like select related or prefetch related and think about how your queries are built. After that, I closed my laptop, poured myself a cold drink, and patted myself on the back. I still got this.
Thanks, Adam. Next time I'm working with large amounts of data, I will not forget to paginate, and if I am using Django, I'll make sure to use select related. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. You don't want to miss any more of these Sentry Snacks of the Week.